Wonderful. I absolutely love that. So excuse me if I indulge myself with that one, and I really hope you enjoyed it too. Faith. Well, it's rather a strange word, isn't it? It's a bit of a catch-all. What does that word mean for us? We bandy the word around a lot, and we tend to view doubting Thomas in rather a bad light. We tend to think of him, I think, as being rather out of order, asking for proof of Jesus, of his resurrection. But should we be so judgmental? Let's think it through for a moment. In the lives we lead, do we really believe everything we are told? Well, of course not. That would be truly foolish and naive. We will have all heard the term fake news, and Trump himself made it a common explanation for everything that was negative about him and his campaign. Highly irritating as that was at the time, he was quite right about the practice. Misinformation is a huge problem today and is a very big industry in itself. From the local to the international stand, misinformation is used to fool people and manipulate the choices that we make. I think it's propaganda by another name, and of course that is nothing new. It has, however, become a runaway train with the advent of the web. Looking at it from a purely frivolous point of view, on April Fool's Day, the media hoodwink us every year quite intentionally, and it can be really funny, and we accept that in good jest. Most of us are only temporarily deceived, if at all, and it's all a bit of fun. But the greatest amount of fake news is there to manipulate us in some way, whether it be to form our political choices or to the things that we buy and the decisions that we make, even our view about faiths. Think for a moment of the BNP, a fascist organisation with the belief that the British Isles are for whites only. They routinely create racist spin and are not adverse to castigating the Islamic faith, amongst others. Are we wrong to be sceptical? Wouldn't we be fools if we weren't? Now, Thomas was not in that upper room with the other apostles when Jesus made his first appearance after the crucifixion, and he was understandably startled by what he heard. And I certainly would be. Firstly, Mary Magdalene tells her story, swiftly followed by the testimony of the remaining apostles. Quite sensibly, in my view, Peter didn't immediately accept what he heard. There was a doubt. It was a healthy response to an incredible narrative. He wanted and needed to test what he was told. He wanted to know for himself that he could really trust what the rest now believed. And in that period of time, and we're told in the Bible that it was over 8 days, he needed to test things out using several different strategies. Firstly, he listened repeatedly to the details of his trusted friends. He considered their answers over time, and he would have discussed it with them. Finally, he was willing to reconsider his initial impression in the light of fresh evidence. Thomas became convinced, and in the end, he really had no need to touch Jesus' wounds. Doubt is not wrong. It is essential. And if Easter faith really matters, then doubt is an essential part of the journey that we take. I'm breaking the message for a moment, and we're now going to have our third song, which is In Christ Alone by Keith and Christine Getty.